Well, if it isn't another episode of Was It Good with I, Ravi, my brothers Krishna and Arjuna, and our intrepid producer, Mr. Michael. Today we are boldly going where no one has gone before to discuss Season 2, Episode 1 of Star Trek Lower Decks. You're going to have to cut that.
That big.
Yeah, and then... Oh, and I guess we're also going to discuss the Christmas episode of Ted Lasso for some reason in August. Christmas in August. That's a new one. Not Arjuna's birthday in August. Christmas in August. Before we get into it, guys, as always, I have a question for you.
Oh.
I have an answer.
Why?
Can I give you my answer first?
Why is Ted Lasso still a thing?
Because it was an insanely popular show, and they already renewed it for seasons 2 and 3.
You mean 3 and 4?
No, it's renewed through season 3.
3. Okay, gotcha.
And allegedly ending after season 3.
Let's
You know why.
in the outline, Arjuna has it, Star Trek, then Ted Lasso. Let's just get through the Ted Lasso first, because
Get through the
I don't have a lot of good things to say.
Oh, okay.
I just thought, honestly, it feels like a programming error, right? So in England, they...
Oh, I'm sorry.
often-
In England, does Christmas happen in August in England?
No, in England, though, around Christmas time, they do Christmas specials.
Right,
That
of course.
drop on Christmas Day. Doctor Who is famous for doing this. They do it with a lot of their popular shows.
The Queen's Speech.
The Queen's speech? Yeah, whatever. Kevin Spacey's speech on YouTube.
I didn't know that was a British thing.
But this is what that felt like, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No.
It felt like a weird one-off, or
Well,
not weird, but it
no,
felt
it-
like
it definitely-
It felt like a one-off that was a special that was outside almost of the continuity of the season and what's going
Well,
on.
I guess
Absolutely.
the big question is, if this episode never happens, right?
Do any of us exist?
Well, there's that. But I guess the question is, like, if this episode doesn't happen, does the story still make sense? And even though we still have, 6 episodes left of Ted Lasso, I'm going to just boldly predict, yeah, you could get rid of this episode or never watch it, and you would be A-okay.
Yes.
But how would you know about the stinky breath?
Let me ask you this question. Okay, so yeah, you're right. England television programming is known for these Christmas specials, these one-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in the contract that they're supposed to be like bad episodes?
That's hard. Wow. You're just like coming out firing.
Hey, and but real quick,
No,
There's supposed to
seriously.
be shit.
First of all,
I
don't watch Doctor Pooh. I don't watch any
Yeah,
of
you
those
watch
shows.
Triple Frontier.
I watched it twice.
I'm sorry, real quick. If there was a
having it
Christmas
off.
episode for
Triple Frontier.
Frontier,
Actually, that would be incredible. Would it be like Ben Affleck's, like the ghost of his dead character coming back and haunting?
you know what's kind of
That'd be
weird
great.
that I'm just
Great idea.
realizing, our set right now, we have the green, lights on. Was that done because of
I should have brought my Christmas hat.
just really dive into the
down,
fact?
you know?
I mean, America does holiday themed
Yeah, for
episodes,
sure.
like
For
Simpsons,
sure.
Family Guy. I don't know. I'm listing animation. show.
Community did it.
Yeah.
They all do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty.
How I Met Your Mother?
That's a pretty hot take.
Wait,
though.
so
Like,
wait,
they
do we
all
think?
do it
but-
during
well, here's my
Christmas,
question
though.
though. Do we think this was originally supposed to be like they thought this was airing around Christmas and that's why they made a Christmas episode?
But that doesn't make sense because they knew, from what I've read and I understand with Apple and the production house behind Ted Lasso, they knew they knew when they were going to kind of be releasing, and they also knew when they were doing pre-production and production. And when you're doing all that stuff, again, they knew when this would drop. So
Are you sure
it
about
doesn't
that?
make sense that
Because the actor and one of the co-creators who plays one of the coaches, he said when they wrote the season, right, they wrote it as the first 3 episodes would all be released at once. So then that makes me think what else did they think but get wrong? Did they
So
think
you think
it was
they
supposed to
come
this
out
was supposed
later
to-
in the
yeah,
year?
Was it supposed to drop December-ish time? I don't know.
So, playing devil's advocate, then, even if this came out during the holidays,
Sure.
right? Let's imagine it's, Ted Lasso drops or premieres November and we get to December and week before Christmas and this episode drop. It's still a bad episode, regardless of the fact that
Yeah.
it's regardless of when it comes out, it's still a fucking bad episode.
So devil's advocate to
to the
that.
devil's advocate?
Yeah, devil's advocate.
Devil to
devil's
the
advocate.
devil.
The episode, the people who did like the episode, they loved it because of the Christmas feel. A lot of people have said they're going to put it in their Christmas rotation. It's the perfect Christmas
What the
thing.
fuck is a Christmas rotation?
So you watch
programming.
Christmas
around
movies
Christmas
and Christmas episodes.
It's
Things that you do on Christmas.
Think about the movie rotation you have for like 4th of July.
July
right?
4th, yeah.
Where you're like, we're gonna
Independence Day.
watch Independence Day.
Independence
We're gonna
Day 2.
watch, Independence
I'm
Day
confused.
2.
That's you're supposed to. It's an American holiday. Like you're supposed to watch.
But
Independence
people also
Day.
put shit on for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put on horror movies, or you put on this podcast.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, the people who loved this episode, they bought in completely. Wait, if you go on Twitter, which I know you avoid, our Mr. Producer, people did love it.
Didn't Lauren?
I don't know
Didn't
why.
Lauren really like this
Lauren
episode?
wasn't
good.
Lauren liked it. Yes.
Lauren liked the episode.
Him being on Twitter. June has a lot of editing to do.
Yeah. Well, that's the point of these, right?
That's true.
Very.
We can fuck
And-
up.
yeah, we
You
can
should keep that in though.
Are
Keep
you
that in
enjoying
right there.
editing so far, Arjuna?
in the future. But no, to your question, yeah, Lauren did like this episode.
Yeah, and a lot
But
of people
I'm
did.
just going to make
go
a
on Twitter.
very big overgeneralization about Ted Lasso fans. Just like
Lasso.
any fandoms, or as the newer generation likes to say, was it Sans fans or whatever? Stans.
Yeah.
I think Ted Lasso fans were going to like this episode regardless.
I
right? Like,
suppose.
They,
I mean, it's
folks that really like Ted Lasso and what it is, like, they will like it even if a bad episode is presented, which this was.
so for me, like, I've never been the largest Ted Lasso fan, right? I've always been like, it's a solid show, it's good, it's okay, and to me, this was definitely a step below, I think, what we've had in the first season, almost season and a half now, but it still fits into, like, I think what Ted Lasso is, which is some form of escapism and
Feel-goodness.
this feel-goodness,
A
and
good guy doing good things.
yeah, and that fits this. Now, there's a lot of like story and narrative problems and characters disappearing,
Like
and
the lack of plot.
yeah, no Nate.
no Coach Beard. What's the psychiatrist's name? She's not even in the episode at all.
Doc. Her name's
The
Doc.
doctor, yeah.
Doc.
Jamie
Doc.
Tart is barely in it.
He has literally one sentence.
He asks for the present, and then he has this really weird reaction to it, and he's like, "God bless" or something.
Yeah, God bless me.
it was like it was strange. It was definitely
It
strange.
was stupid. It was
I
very
like,
stupid.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, I guess my biggest problem with the episode is that there was three. I'm not even going to call them storylines. There were three situations presented to us, and only one of them resembled a story.
Which one?
The quest to find the dentist, and
Well,
the
I
only
thought
reason is because there was a motive and we got to solve this problem. A problem was presented, and then we got to solve it. The other two were just sort of like these. Like situations, like just here's some things happening. There wasn't really
I actually
any conflict.
I actually enjoyed the like Higgins storyline the most.
That one was honestly more interesting.
because we got more FaceTime with like these background soccer players and a little bit of characterization, and so I was like, this is somewhat interesting. Maybe not the most well done, but definitely at least I was presented some type of information. So
Really?
yeah, I thought I was giving. Yeah, you're giving a little bit of backstory. The French guy bringing a woman because it's good luck. The talk about the different cuisines and stuff. It's information.
Yeah.
Chris is just like,
It is.
No.
You're right. You're right as in that it is information.
You're giving a little bit more info about these characters than you previously had,
That is true.
and I found that somewhat enjoyable.
Yeah. I would like it to have been in the context of the overall story instead of this.
But here's my question: 4 episodes into this season, what is the story?
So
that-
I
hold on.
thought it was going to be this.
Here's the Dubai thing.
Dubai thing.
The
yeah.
Dubai air
That's
thing.
what
And that,
thought
I
it was
think, is
gonna
the
be.
biggest
Yeah.
problem I have with the episode, is you ended episode 3 that felt very Ted Lasso in terms of this feel-good thing, standing up for what's right, that
Yeah.
type of stuff, and you were actually kind of formulating, like, the team has an enemy or it has a common thing
That they're
that
gonna
you
come
work towards.
yeah.
And then you drop this fucking thing, this horseshit of an episode. And it is mentioned, I'll give him that. Dubai Air is mentioned where one of Higgins' kids are like, I thought it was really cool.
Sure.
And then that was it. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Could have, like, it would have been, like, to me, it would have been interesting if, like, Higgins pulled the kid aside and was like, yeah, but, you know, we all may lose our fucking jobs because they are a big sponsor. Like, create some kind of conflict or something.
Yeah.
The episode.
Then
I
they
feel
had
like-
nothing.
Yeah.
But clearly time has passed, right? From episode 3 to episode
Correct.
4, because they talk about they almost have the same amount of wins as losses.
Yeah. About 7 or 8 games, I think.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
a few weeks, quite a few weeks, right?
This episode would have worked better if we had seen if this was like a breather episode after some like really
Intense stuff.
intense stuff
In
that's
between,
happened,
yeah,
like,
and then more
some
intense
dramatic
shit.
like
Yeah,
rising action, and everyone's in a terrible place. Like there's all this infighting in the team, and they're getting stomped on by the media, and you know they're on the Ted Lasso's on the verge of getting fired. The team's on the verge of getting relegated again. Like really, having this episode would have been like a nice let's relieve the tension, but we haven't. Like you said, it feels, or somebody said, it feels out of place. Like the episode's come too early.
You know what?
This is
what I like to imagine, and I kind of hope I'm right. And Apple's just too proud to like go back and correct it. This wasn't supposed to be episode 4. This was supposed to be like episode 5 or 6 or something. And whoever like released it, just fucked it up.
Oh no!
Embargoed it with the wrong date. It's like whoops.
So like the next episode to go back,
Damn.
and they're still playing for that first win.
Yeah,
or
or some shit like that.
They wouldn't even get the first win.
Yeah,
like
which-
we didn't even get that first win situation. Like
the
it's
soccer is
strange.
very
Not there.
tertiary in this season.
Oh, man.
Like it have we even
No.
we've barely seen soccer action
Yeah.
since episode 1, and that was really just the free kicks.
Yeah.
I wonder if part of that again is due to COVID.
Yeah.
Not being able to, it seems like the sets are much more closed this season.
Green
A lot of
screen.
green screen.
A lot of green screen, a
Yeah.
lot more like just here's this shot. Here's even like the beginning of the episode where they have the stuff in the locker room and then they have the stuff in the office. That felt out of place almost because it's like, why would they celebrate separately? Why wouldn't the coaches be out there with the players, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that. And I imagine that's some of the COVID restrictions probably put into place,
Right.
and maybe that's why this episode came to be, because it was like COVID restrictions, and like you just had to. They have to do 10 episodes, so they decided to put this out instead of miss the episode. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we won't know unless. I did. Yeah, they had their arms around him like this. They're like, "Hey, how you doing?"
That's
we
how-
still have COVID restrictions, Arjuna?
Yeah. You just broke my bone. It's broken.
Well, I think
Actually,
this
why the
episode-
fuck isn't everyone wearing a mask?
Oh, this is awkward.
We all live together, so it's fine.
I'm an anti-masker.
Oh,
shit.
wow.
We gotta cut that
Yeah, that's
out.
going to come out. Yeah,
Great,
yeah.
thanks.
not an
Arjuna, you don't have the question in here that we always
I meant
ask.
to put it. I'm sorry. I meant to put
Oh,
it. in.
I was going to say, are you just assuming everyone says no?
I'm going to shock everyone.
Oh no.
Oh, well then, let's start. Arjuna, was Ted Lasso, Season 2, Episode 4, the Higgins Christmas Special, good?
I like Christmas things, but no, it was not good.
Oh, I am shocked.
I do like Christmas. I do enjoy like the Christmas type episodes, knowing that it is kind of to answer your question, Krishna. Yes, the Christmas, like the traditional Christmas stuff in England, is always at least 2 degrees. Like it's bad. It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
not
right, that's good to
necessarily.
know.
It's hokey.
Yeah.
It's a one-off. It's individualized. It's rarely good. There's every now and then you do get a really good episode. There's a couple really good Doctor Who Christmas specials, but
no,
by and large,
that's
Arjuna,
good to know.
Krishna doesn't. Krishna. I think we could show Krishna the best Doctor Who
We
episode
have.
ever, and he would hate it.
No,
I like that episode.
we've showed
No,
him
no,
a
no.
couple.
Wait, which one?
The Blink.
The-
The
Oh,
statue.
the-
that was
yeah,
actually
that's
legitimately
scary, yeah.
That's
No,
not.
it's
That's
not
not.
Christmas.
No.
It's
It's
just a
the only
Doctor Who
Doctor Who
episode.
episode I like.
I think that real quick, that Doctor Who episode is good for one very simple reason, and it's you don't really focus on the Doctor and his companions, just a completely like separate story, and they kind of interweave, and time plays a really good factor there. But beyond that,
it's
like
generally
yeah.
horrifying.
Yeah, it's like really scary.
Really well done.
I might have had like a small.
But no, it was not good. And yeah, we just have to kind of, this season of Ted Lasso is starting to get away from itself. So we're like 4 episodes in, and
we've had one good episode.
and I don't really know where we're going.
Yeah.
The train is without a conductor,
Oh.
and I'm a little scared. I'm freaking out a little, guys.
that might be
Wow.
the mushrooms that I gave you.
I'm not freaking out.
I like
but
the metaphor.
But I'm not like, oh yeah, Ted Lasso. I really got to watch it now. Like I think I waited till Sunday to watch it. And
Yeah.
He waited till before this podcast to watch
watched
it.
it.
But,
20
like I
minutes.
didn't feel like I had to watch it Friday. Like Bad Batch, the finale. It's like I got to watch this.
Yeah.
Did you actually watch it? Are you pulling a Mad Max?
What, for Ted Lasso?
Yeah, this episode.
No, I watched it.
Oh, okay.
The stinky breath and like Roy Kent, like his expression.
Yeah.
That's probably the best part of the episode where he's just like,
Oh, yeah.
he's like, he like
Where he
tries to
died on
hold
the
it in and
inside,
then he
yeah.
just dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Like that was funny, but like great. I got one laugh and how
You got
however
one
long it
laugh
was.
and a Nerf gun fight. Oh, there's a take.
But no, it was not good. Krishna was Ted Lasso, season 2, episode 4, an August Christmas. Good.
No, it wasn't good. And real quick, we didn't even touch on this. Why the fuck were they saying Merry Christmas in England? It's Happy Christmas. That's what they say there.
Hey, progressive. People have changed, man. Change.
No.
Wanker.
Yeah, you're a wanker.
You're a wanker.
You're a wanker.
You're a wank stain.
What? You said it, not me. I'm off the hook now. Yeah, it wasn't good. Ravi, was episode 4 of Ted Lasso good to you?
I've given it a lot of thought.
Oh, you have, haven't you?
And yeah, it still was shit.
Yes.
It was a shit episode, and regardless if this came out during Christmas, still a shit episode.
I was really
and if I have to inevitably rewatch Ted Lasso at some point in my life because of my significant other, I will somehow figure out how to destroy this episode, so I don't ever
You
have
could
to
just
watch
go
it
on
again.
your phone for the 30-minute
No,
TRT.
I don't want to hear it.
How
I want
much-
to see it.
Put your
Alright.
headphones in.
All right, let me ask you this then. How much alcoholic eggnog would it take for you to enjoy this episode?
How
gonna
much?
say 4.
How much do you think I would need to like black out? Because
6.
that much,
A gallon?
6.
Like, but then you would throw up from the dairy. Like,
Yeah.
I guess that would
gallon
put me,
eggnog
that would put me in the
throw
bathroom.
you in the bathroom?
And then I would that
Yeah.
would work. There you go.
Yep.
Wow, you solved that problem.
We're Richmond till we die. We're Richmond till...
Now, obviously, Ted Lasso is a series that is definitely suffering because of COVID, as we
Yeah.
had said. One show that isn't suffering because of COVID is a animated show in the Star Trek fashion called Lower Decks.
Lower dicks?
Lower Decks.
Lower dicks.
Lower Decks. And I will start by saying the theme tune is still very, very good.
And I write the film
Yeah,
porn.
it's the same one, right?
Sing the
Same,
film
same,
porn.
They
yeah,
didn't
same
change-
thing.
They didn't change the intro.
The only thing that I thought was a little different in the Lower Decks season 2 opening theme is when they are shooting at the Borg. That looked different. I haven't bothered to go back and like compare, but I thought that was different.
Maybe because
I'm-
of time travel.
Maybe. But what did you guys think? Mariner and her mom seemed they were like a team. There was reference to Gary Mitchell,
Who is Gary Mitchell?
the most generic name on the planet.
Is that not a character
I'm
from
Gary
Star Trek?
Mitchell.
It is a character from these original Star Trek with Kirk.
TOS.
Okay.
Where he gets godlike abilities, and they thwart him by crushing him with a boulder. As they mentioned in this episode. As the
see.
cat doctor is like, I gotta go find a boulder.
So in the original Star Trek episode, so you know Captain Kirk, he's supposed to be this courageous, awesome hero individual. In this episode, the original Star Trek episode with this guy, Gary Mitchell, who is, he's an egomaniac. He gets his god powers. He thinks he's the best. Kirk's, whole thing about like killing him is to lure him into a grave that Gary Mitchell made for Kirk and then shoot some boulders and then, physically crush him to death.
Is that the only way to stop him?
I guess.
in the
I don't know.
1960s, when budgets were getting tight, yes, it was.
Nice.
The foam boulders were the only way. But I don't know. It just feels so like barbarian or like
Barbaric. Yeah,
barbaric. Like,
60s were a wild time.
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
Kirk was kind of a dick. But yeah, that happened. Well, what did you guys think, though, of the episode? I know that one of the biggest complaints of season 1 from Michael, our producer, was that Mariner never got in trouble. Ever.
Oh, she was always like off the hook somehow, or yeah.
What did you guys think with this episode?
I mean, I never really had an issue with that. I mean, I don't, because it's a cartoon, so I automatically
don't
take it that seriously. Well, that sounds condescending. What I mean by that is that the consequences aren't important to me. Like when I watch Rick and Morty or The Simpsons or South Park, like the consequences of the character and their actions is that's the point. It's more of like the week to week gimmick almost.
Right. Well, the animated like trope is like everything resets week.
Kind of, yeah. So that never really bothered me, and so to me, this sort of continued. Like she got taken to the brig, but she was like okay with it. So I didn't, it's like more of the same. I still enjoyed it. I think for me, the newness and the appeal of season 1 has worn off. So to me, I was like, yeah, it was still fun. It was still good, but it wasn't as like mind blowing as watching the first season because I was like, oh man, here's a Star Trek thing I actually like, and for this one, I was like prepared, more prepared for what I was gonna see. So I like the giant floating head of the it's Ransom. Is his name Ransom?
Yeah,
Commander Ransom.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Ransom.
I thought there was like some amazing thing you were gonna like connect with.
No, I was just thinking in my mind, like in the old Star Wars Rogue Squadron ones, Commander's above Captain.
Yeah.
So it's flipped here in Star Trek. So it's just funny to me.
And you guys laughed when I was like, "This will be a 20-minute pod."
Well, no. I mean, to piggyback off of that, it was, I think, just echoing Christian, it was a solid episode, but yeah, it definitely doesn't stick out like some of the season 1 episodes. And I think part of that might have been because it was Mariner's episode to shine. Yeah. And while she is like a cool character, I almost feel like having a character like Boimler to play off of her,
the foil, was
definitely missed in this episode. This felt like an episode where, and doesn't feel like it's going to last, like Boimler's not going to be with the crew for the rest of the season type of thing.
Yeah.
Like he is going to come back, and I'm sure the dynamics will be different, but it definitely, that was kind of the missing energy. That was the key to season 1 of like this very by the books cadet and this very like non by the books.
That was my problem with the episode is the fact that in season 1 we understood that Mariner was. She doesn't like her mom, like any kid who has to work with their parent. They don't like it. They don't like authority. They want to do more for the people, right? And this episode just kind of reiterated everything that we knew. I actually found myself getting kind of annoyed with her. And this is going to sound super, super kind of nerdy and goofy, but it's because, like, you watch all this other Star Trek, and you're just like, this shit wouldn't fucking happen. Like, Picard wouldn't let, like, this motherfucker go and, like, break so many goddamn Starfleet rules. Right. Like, because of her, like, because she wants to do really, really good for these people and clean up their, stupid little dirty town or whatever, she activates this ancient technology and that sets everything in motion. And it's like, and again, I hear how nerdy and goofy I sound when I say this, but it's like, Starfleet has these rules in place for a fucking reason.
So you hate the nepotism of it.
Yeah. That part got to me. So I like that they kind of nipped it in the butt where, Mariner and her mother are going to be on separate sides. They're not like this great team dynamic. So that's gone, and I think that's fine. But I think that could have been done a lot quicker. Like, I don't think you needed a whole episode just around that.
I think it was playing catch up to like season 1 of like, here's where we are, and like we want, like, they don't want to bring Boimler back immediately because then it's just like, oh, he was gone for like 10 seconds, and you want to have this new dynamic of where you left off. So I understand seeing those consequences through, but I think you're right. If this was like the entire season, it would have been just like, oof.
Am I the only one who sort of is hoping for a Boimler Riker only episode?
Yes.
So we go.
I think we might actually get that. I think that's what we're going to get.
You have Jonathan. It's Jonathan Frakes, right?
Frakes.
Yeah.
You have him like he's great as a voice actor, like doing all that. Like they have to have that.
Hilariously,
I hope. Hopefully, what we saw at the end, where they're like punching through some kind of anomaly. I would love a weird. Like did you guys watch a lot of Next Generation?
Yeah, I watched it with you.
So like they had those really weird one-off episodes, like where just weird shit would happen, like they turn into kids or Q or like a whole number of different weird things fucking happening. I really hope
kids.
Yeah, there's a whole thing where people on the ship start aging and de-aging. And
the opposite of old. And Night Shyamalan's new movie.
Episode 2 of Next Generation, they all become horny.
It's true.
Episode fucking 2.
Oh, I thought it was episode 1.
CBS, they got to get them ratings up for that Wednesday night.
Not now, Doctor.
It's Wednesday night. It's the middle of the week, hump week,
Literally.
or hump day, or whatever.
Did every Star Trek have like the horny episode? Because I remember like Enterprise.
Enterprise had a horny
definitely had that
episode.
episode.
I don't think Voyager did.
Oh,
Well,
they just introduced 7 of 9.
Yeah,
right?
they
Which
did
was
7
pure
of
eye
9.
candy,
Then that was that.
apparently.
Whoa, whoa!
Deep
You're saying there
Space-
was nothing to that character
Deep
beyond how
Space
she
Nine, I don't think had anything.
looked? I've never saw it.
Cisco.
I have no
I
idea.
mean,
Yeah, he's just
he was a sex symbol of his time.
basically that
Cisco?
voice. Yes. Oh yeah, the Cisco. You shall not
You shall not pass. Is he
this
Gandalf?
station.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Damn.
he was like this. His
They're really
catchphrases were
selling
like
the show.
this station.
Deep Space Nine
the
is the best.
Kardashians.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Deep Space what?
Deep Space Nine is the best Star Trek.
I think Deep Space Nine is the weirdest one. Like it's really kind
that
of
make it the
out
best?
there.
I think it's the best one.
Nice.
I think from top to bottom, it's the best.
Because it's a big space station.
Yep. See, Next Generation's got some.
Was that
rough
Picard?
seasons.
Yeah, that was Picard. yeah.
Baldy.
What about the Picard show?
Moving on.
Have you've seen it, right? The
No,
first
I haven't
season.
finished this
Oh my
season.
God!
Wait,
Why
you
haven't you finished it?
Because it's
shit.
rough.
It's
hard
very
to
bad.
get through.
You should
So
watch
much Discovery season 3.
Just watch that last scene with Picard and
Riker?
Yeah. Oof. Actually, so speaking of Riker, so he actually shows up. Can I give you a small spoiler in Picard?
Sure.
So the USS Titan actually shows up in Picard.
Does Boimler show up?
See,
Yes.
maybe. Who knows? That shot was very quick. Could you imagine?
Is Riker retired in Picard?
You would have to assume no, because why the fuck would he be given like
A warship?
Well, he's not just given a warship; he's given a whole like fucking fleet.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think he's retired. But like, here, this is another
retired. I was
small
just
spoiler. But
thinking
there
that.
is like an episode where Picard is lost, and like he goes and he hangs out with Riker and what's Riker's wife's name? Troy.
Betty.
And they're hanging out on a farm. Real quick, they're hanging out on a farm and they're cooking pizza.
Yeah.
Well, this is the one, Picard's farm in France.
No, this is
vineyard?
Riker's farm now.
Right, Riker has his own farm.
Riker's got his own farm.
Okay, so all of the Next Generation characters got their own farms.
I guess in Star
Data?
Trek that in the future, like in order to show wealth, because the Federation, they don't. In the future, there's no money.
Yeah.
Right. So I figured in order to show wealth, you have land, and then you have people that work
you
on
just
that
get
land.
your ship that you were captain for 30 years. Like, you captain this bad boy for 30 years, it's yours.
Yeah, but then what would you do with it?
Actually, I don't even
You
know where.
wage war like Riker.
Wait, what?
With the USS Titan.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
Just giving him out like
Picard
candy.
season 2. I mean, we're jumping all over the place here from Lower Decks, but Picard season 2, the trailer that drops, there's Q in there, and then also it looks like Q moves our heroes from Picard to an alternate reality where
Lower Decks.
Picard, I guess, is going to be reinstated, or in that universe is still part of the Federation. But I was reading, I forget where I read this, that we may see an Enterprise in Picard, which will be interesting because the last time we see Enterprise is in that amazing, perfect, no issue movie Star Trek Nemesis.
Oh my god. Wait, isn't Tom Hardy in
Tom
Nemesis?
Hardy, yeah, that's what
He
Tom
does
Hardy
Picard-
bases.
That's like his first big role, I think.
I'm
Maybe
sure.
not. Maybe not. Yeah. I might be wrong. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
that movie.
2002. Pre-Bane.
Oh, shit.
Pre-Bane, yeah.
2002. Holy fuck.
Pre-Inception.
Pre-Inception, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Pre me.
Oh boy. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say on Lower Decks? Is
The B plot? Tendi trying to fix
Oh,
Rutherford?
that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yep.
The
Well,
sexual tension.
I did love the situation where they've got the wall between them, and then you just see Ransom's head in the background,
Yep.
like trying
Flying
to
around.
eat the ship, and she's just like, "I just want to be your friend." I those were the moments from season 1 that I really liked.
Yeah.
The Lower Decks team doing this random shit while the bridge is dealing with these crises.
Well, that's how it was always kind of presented. Season
Yeah.
1 of Lower Decks was like, the A team was out doing the mission, and the Lower Decks team was dealing with some other subplot. This, with Mariner and everything, she causes, the main
Right.
And the best
issue.
part is it's a B-class ship anyway, right? Aren't they second contact?
Yep.
So it's like the lower decks of a second
Class
class ship. Like, oh, it's beautiful.
So here, real quick, bold predictions for this season. Obviously, at one point, Mariner's mom, is on the phone or on a call with her husband, Mariner's dad, who's an admiral, and he says something along the lines of, like, you're close to getting, like, a Galaxy-class ship. Do you think that we're going to see them get a new ship, or are they going to be locked into this B-class?
I think they get... I think one way to resolve the storyline with Mariner and her mom is to move the mom away. And so I feel like they're going to be separated, and there'll be a new captain that comes in. Maybe it's Ransom, he gets promoted. Maybe it's someone else. And
Boimler.
And she's not going to be able to get away with any shit on this ship. So that's going to force a change to her character.
Nice.
That'd be kind of cool.
I think that's what makes the most sense, because, like, even though they're not on the same side, like, she still has the leeway to kind of do whatever she wants. So I think to kind of force the character in a new direction, that makes the most sense. I think they still stick with the Cerritos, because it seems like it almost feels like a character of its own, because it is like the loser ship. It'd be weird if, like, they all went to the USS Titan, right? Like the
or
shiny,
the Enterprise.
If they went to something like that. So it feels like they will stick with the Cerritos, I feel like, at least for a little while.
Nice.
I do hope we see some other, like, classic Star Trek ships. Like, it would be kind of cool, because up until this, like, the last time we see an Enterprise is the Enterprise E in Star Trek Nemesis, and then I don't know of any. Well, actually, you see in Star Trek Enterprise, the show with Archer, you see a flash forward thing where Archer sees, I think, like, the Enterprise F, which is like this weird liquidy, super futuristic-y ship. Again, that could be an alternative timeline. Who the fuck knows?
We can only hope.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll see the Enterprise. I'm sure, like, the Enterprise is kind of like the...
What if we saw Voyager?
I mean, you could start getting some more crossovers. Like, Riker, I doubt, is the last one. You had Q last season as well.
That's right.
So you're definitely going to get more. And what, Picard would be still the captain of the Enterprise at this point?
Don't know, actually. Because I'm not entirely sure, like...
What's canon anymore? What universe?
Yeah, where we're at. So
is this the Prime universe?
I think it is.
This is the Lower Decks universe.
Yeah, that is
It's
true.
not the JJ world.
Oh, thank God.
Which, by the way, isn't there Star Trek 4 in development right now?
Correct.
Oh, that's still
With
a thing?
JJ?
No.
Not with. Wait, not with JJ?
Not with Tarantino either.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Probably not. Let's ask, what other bold predictions do you guys have? Any?
I think Riker is going to be the antagonist for this season. So I think the next episode, something's going to happen with Boimler and Riker's going to get taken over by Borg, or, some classic Star Trek thing where he's taken over, and him and his warship going to go rogue. Boimler's going to, like, escape or be trapped there, maybe even. And I think maybe part of the overarching story arc might be just Riker popping in and out, causing havoc. And I think it would be funny, because Riker is a hilarious character. Like, even the one or two lines that he had in this episode, he's just like, ha ha!
Have you ever seen someone
adventure?
Someone put a compilation of how Riker sits on a chair? So he goes, he swings his leg over it.
I remember that somehow.
It's weird.
Yeah.
They have to do that.
back.
They have to animate that into the show.
He has a bad back?
They should animate that into the show. It will be hilarious.
But they have to, yeah.
Well, now I feel mean.
That's amazing.
They should still animate it.
Yeah, they
But
should.
it's a great like character. Yeah, a great character.
They should also do
the thing.
the meme where it's like, nope, not gonna happen.
They should. So, like, they bring up a lot of Star Trek history, like obviously like Gary Mitchell and stuff.
Yeah.
What would be kind of cool is, like, along the lines of, like, the meme stuff, is if they start incorporating, like, some of pop culture's, like, take on Star Trek. Like, we have a lot of Star Trek, like a lot of Picard memes out there.
Yeah.
Like, incorporating some of that stuff into the show, because especially it's animated, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool to incorporate that, and that's going to be my bold predictions. We will see some of the
More
meme
pop culture?
the meme pop culture make its way into the show more.
Memes.
I thought you were gonna be like
Toys?
time travel.
Oh, there has to be a time travel episode. We didn't get one last season.
We didn't?
I don't think so.
Not
No.
a single one.
We didn't get a time travel episode, and time travel is definitely a staple.
Yep.
We had, we had
Ascension?
a Ascension episode. We had a holodeck episode.
A couple, right? I feel like there was.
Oh yeah, the what was it, Stabby?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so great. That was a
That was a
tough. That was a
good
tough.
one.
That was probably a
episode,
good. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
one
it
of
was
my
a really
favorite.
good
Yeah, so I think just along the tropes line, they're going to continue to play in the tropes.
Yeah, and we also had the classic like alien race takes over the ship, right?
yeah we've
Had that. Yeah, so we need a time travel one, I think.
Do you think they're gonna mess with like Prime Universe coming in contact with the other?
So like multi
Like JJ,
universe.
like,
But
do
they
you think
run
the
into like
JJ
they get
Star
like
Trek
Chris
comes in?
Pine to like
Yeah,
cameo
yeah,
and do
exactly.
like Kirk's voice.
Exactly.
They
Have
run
Chris
into
I
Pine
don't
come
think
in there.
Paramount
Wait,
has
what?
their deals set up like how like
Oh.
Disney has theirs set up with their people.
That
would be kind of
awesome,
cool.
though. Yeah, yeah.
But
It'd be amazing.
hell, just have JJ appear. Like, who are you? I'm like, I don't know.
just do what like South Park does: is say that this person's this person, and then have a terrible like
Explanation.
like a terrible like take on their voice.
Oh, nice.
Like-
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That'd be pretty cool.
Cool.
Christian, kick us off.
Oh, nice. Ravi,
Hello.
was episode 1 of season 2 Star Trek Lower Decks good?
I'm gonna say no, just because it didn't
Wow.
surprise me. Like it wasn't like the first time we saw like when we saw season 1, episode 1.
Sure.
It didn't wow me. It just felt a lot more of season 2. And again, like the whole stuff with Mariner and her mom, it's like I get it. I just wish it was a little bit quicker.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. So you like to be surprised?
I love to be
Yeah, yeah.
surprised.
And if you're not surprised, if you're not stimulated every second of your life, it's just not
Yeah,
worth
if
it.
I'm not stimulated all the time,
It's almost as bad as this.
I want to
do that?
show the world something.
Hey, I don't think I did that once today.
Yeah, because we called you out on it. And
yeah,
now your
but
subconscious
you ruined
is-
that episode.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh. Arjuna was season 2, episode 1, Mariner's Revenge. Good.
I don't know what that is.
Mariner's Revenge?
Yeah, well, but my answer's being written for me. Yes, I loved this episode. It was like watching the sun on a summer day.
Wow.
Smile and wave.
Wait, what?
But I did like the episode. I thought it was good. We're not the best for Lower Decks, but still solid nonetheless. I liked the show last summer. I'm glad it's back. And, excited to see what's going to happen. Even with this conversation, I feel like I'm more excited about it because it seems like there's a lot of potential, obviously, for the show.
Yeah.
A lot of directions they can go. I feel like they've set themselves up really well. Now, I hope they don't Ted Lasso it and, decide to go in the Z degree and make it all about, growing up on a ranch in Montana. Maybe they will. Who knows?
You're right. I hope they don't do that.
You never know, though. Maybe we'll get a Christmas episode.
Oh, fuck you.
In August.
On a spaceship.
No, they're going to do it in September. Really fuck you over
Nice.
that way.
Nice.
Krishna, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Arjuna. Thank you for having me.
Was Star Trek Lower Deck Season 2, Episode 1, Revenge of the Sith. Good.
Whoa. It was good.
And I had a Star Wars reference, so I had to work it in.
There you go. It was good. I enjoyed it. Kind of echoing you guys. It wasn't the greatest episode by any means, but
Were you surprised?
no, there was no surprise. Yeah, no really surprise. I loved it. I loved the ransom becoming sort of this power hungry egomaniac and creating like the perfect gym on this planet, and then having a floating head going around trying to eat the ship. I mean, that whole situation.
Shout out to Jerry O'Connell.
was hilarious. So that was good. I enjoyed it, and like Arjun said, I think it sets it up great. I can't wait to see Boimler Riker, and I hope that is a thing. Get that off that screen, Michael.
It says frog.
No!
For those who were wondering.
Hey, Christian.
I did-
Frog.
I mean, just to backtrack slightly, one thing I did really like about the episode that they did with Ransom specifically with like the Mariner and Mom situation was show that there was discontent within those on the ship about that relationship and how it was working. Like he had resentment, and I hope it's like that's not the end of it. Like I'm sure there's going to be some more of that comes up, and I think that should be addressed more. So I'm glad that things aren't just kind of working in a bubble and everyone's like, I'm okay with this. Because
I'm okay.
Sure.
I think that's part of the fun of Star Trek and having a ship, right? Like these people are in super close proximity of each other, so decisions affect everybody on the ship, right? Ship morale and how everyone is feeling is like a
Ship morale or ship morale?
Yes. I do have an
Ship morale.
I have an important question about the Star Trek universe as a whole. There's no money, correct?
No money.
There's
No money.
There's no credits.
Nope.
How-
Well, that's anyone. That's for anyone in the Federation. So if a planet is under or part of the Federation, then the idea is yes, they adhere to this ideology of no credits, no currency. That being said, there is still an underworld. There is still other
Overworld.
planets.
So that brings me. That's a perfect segue into the question. So how do they gamble on these ships?
They
How do
don't.
They don't. There's no.
So
form of
in
gambling
Next
on these
Generation,
ships.
there's a lot of like end of the episode scenes where they're playing poker.
Yeah.
And they have chips, but they have like no value.
What's the
They're
point?
ju-
What
you're-
is the point of poker?
You're just
if you
doing
can't
it.
Feel alive.
You're just doing it to hang out with your colleagues.
Do you
and
remember
whatnot.
the summers when we first moved to New Hampshire, and our grandma taught us how to play poker with toothpicks?
Yes.
Those toothpicks, Krishna, had no value.
Correct, but those poker games also had no value in that.
Wow,
we-
Krishna.
I couldn't
I'm
go
telling
bankrupt.
grandma that
If
you said hanging out with your grandmother had no value.
Value in that I couldn't go
Clip
bankrupt.
this. Clip this.
Poker only has value if you can go bankrupt. Oh, I got an itch. I got to go play.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I'm kidding,
God.
but I was curious about that because I feel like Deep Space Nine. I feel like I remembered some like drinking episodes and the Ferengi. I feel like they gambled, but if they were using currency that's not Federation,
The Ferengi value like gold and like precious metals, but I don't know if it's like
money. Per
one
se.
gold piece is worth X piece of credit or whatever.
like one gold piece equals $1.
yeah.
Hey, do you guys want to
Make
hear?
you give you $1, make you holla.
Do you guys want to? Do you want to hear a fun fact?
Sure.
So, of the J.J. Abrams trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
every antagonist actor has been an MCU character. Eric Bana was the Hulk.
Eric Bana. Oh yeah,
Benedict
that's true.
Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange.
Oh wow, yeah.
Idris Elba, Heimdall.
Wait, was he the villain in
Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I do not remember that movie.
That movie was actually pretty. It was better than the second one.
It's definitely better than the second one.
no.
It is.
The one where they surf with the and sabotage and they ruin an entire.
It is one
Oh,
of.
I don't remember that.
It is one of the most
remember it.
forgettable movies I think on the planet.
And that's
I mean,
right.
you are
That's
right.
right.
I
Now it
don't
comes back.
remember it.
Idris Elba plays a captain who
Right.
crashes on that planet and
Yep.
then
They
eats
get
his crew.
mutated.
It was
no,
written
they
by
get
Simon
mutated.
Pegg.
They get mutated by something.
Oh.
Simon Pegg wrote that.
And then they do the classic
think.
destroy the Enterprise at the end.
Yeah.
And then they rebuild the Enterprise in a time lapse. Oh, there we go. I got it.
Right. There you go.
Well,
And that crew's coming back.
Well, yes.
they'll be back.
Chris Pine. What happened? Anywho, that's going to do it for us here on a very weirdly short episode of our podcast. Was it good?
Was it short?
It felt short. It felt quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Once we
call.
ends out some
Silence.
choice marks from people on this podcast.
There's a funny story about this.
As always, you can find our full-length episodes of the podcast on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/wasitgood. We are on Twitter at wasitgood. Check out Twitter for updates in terms of what we're talking about and when we're going live. We are on Instagram at wasitgoodbtm, where we have now beautiful 9x16 reels where you can look at our faces awkwardly and very close. And our website, wasitgood.info, is there, and a newsletter is supposedly coming.
And our TikTok.
And our TikTok, which is, guess what? At Was It Good BTM.
Woo! Wait, is it really BTM or just was it good?
I think it's just wasn't good.
Wow. I am so good at this.
But we might be wrong. It might be BT.
I don't have a TikTok, so I don't know.
You do have a TikTok.
So
I
Harry
don't
said
have
she
a
was going to
TikTok.
put it on your phone.
And with that, thank you, and tune in for the next... Or, again, check out Twitter to know when our next pod will be dropping, either Friday or Saturday.
Or maybe both days. Just kidding. That's not true. Strike this from the record.
Just...
That's you, Arjuna.
Strike.
Strike it from the record.
You should do that. You should, like, when you're cutting it, you should just yell, "Cut!" really loud.
Well, when we get like intro and outro music, one thing I want to do